Hey everyone, welcome back to AndyDemos. You just heard the Cali76 Stacked Compressor from Origin Effects. And this one is actually an updated version of the previous ones. There's actually more headroom involved and more internal voltage just from using your standard 9-volt power supply. And as you can tell, it's a more compact offering, just like their latest creations like the Deluxe 55. The great thing about having two stacked compressors, or two in series, is that you have separate attack and release times for each circuit, and they're going to interact in different ways. And you can see it all happening in real time with each circuit's own signal reduction meter. And you can find out more information on this updated version of the Cali76 Stacked Compressor at origineffects.com. Let's just start off simple, and rather than stacking compressors, let's just hear one of them and see what kind of character we get out of the Cali76. I'm going to roll back on the dry signal so you're hearing just the pure compression, and to isolate the first compression stage, just roll back on that gold knob or the through. So right here you're hearing a fast attack and a slow release. And what this does is that it kind of gets rid of that pumping quality of a classic stomp box, because those tend to react a lot slower. And the thing we could do here is play with the input level and, adjust the output as well, because these are all interactive like I mentioned. So at the end there, you're really hearing that slow release, and it's keeping that high level maintained. You kind of hear it slowly swell in. Let's go to the opposite with this high input level and hear a slower attack and a faster release time. So that setting with the slower attack really just makes the compression stand out. And you know, if you're kind of liking the feel and the kind of slower attack, you could also blend the dry signal back in and really get your natural dynamics back in the mix. And of course, you could play with the output level and the input as well while you're dialing back the dry signal. Now without the dry signal again. So you really miss it when you turn it off, and that's only using one compressor. So with that said, let's hear what it sounds like when we have two in series. Does increase the kind of harmonic overtones, and you get an extra bit of grit here. So I'm just going to back off on the input as I increase the through, you know, and that's if you want to keep things clean, of course. Opposite settings with the attack and release. So now the second compressor in series is actually getting the faster attack. So it's going to be a lot more aggressive. It has less of a kind of pumping effect. Equal ground here with the input level up and the through level down. To me, that's really a good sweet spot because you don't hear too much of that harmonic overtones and a little bit of that, you know, distortion and flutter when you have too much input going in. So for me, this is kind of the perfect starting point. And then we could add a bit more of the dry signal through and even, you know, hit the output and get some boost into our amplifier. it doesn't always have to be over the top. And I kind of showed that on the intro with the solo with that gold top with mini humbuckers. That was kind of a clean solo, but it really had some nice singing sustain. I didn't have to play too hard. So, you know, there's a lot of applications with the stacked Cali76. Let's try a lower gain setting and a lower input, and then we'll just increase the dry signal so it's more of like a secret weapon, not so much as a compressor kind of slamming you in the face. So a lot more natural. It lets the dynamics through when we have that dry signal up, but we're still using two compressors here, and I've kind of, you know, selected a little bit of a middle ground with the attack and release times. Let's just play around with this setting and then just slowly increase the input level and see what happens. And the cool thing about having two compressors at your fingertips here is that you could always kind of, you know, bring out the chime in any guitar. So let's try it on a neck humbucker. These are the old Doyle coils that I did a demo of a long time ago, and now they're in a guitar my dad made. And I'm just going to start off with one compressor and then, you know, blend that through knob into the second compressor, and you're going to hear everything kind of just liven up because we have two sets of attack and release times, and it's really just going to act as a nice enhancer without boosting or adding too much overdrive on top of the amplifier. And, you know, going into a dirty amp or something like the Deluxe 55, you know, those heavier settings where you have a lot of input gain, it's not so, you know, worrisome if you have that hair on the top end, because it all just kind of gets swallowed up and it's all glued together with an already overdriven sound. So let's try a lot of the through signal going to the second compressor to get the compression and the sustain we're looking for in this setting. Well, that's a look at the new and improved Cali76 Stacked Compressor from Origin Effects, and you can find this dual compressor at origineffects.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.